Okay, hello and welcome to my craft room this afternoon. It's, I don't even know what the date is at the moment. It's Thursday the 15th of August. We're on school holidays, so it's like trying to keep track of the days and stuff is quite difficult at the moment. And obviously I wasn't here Tuesday, so I'm used to saying it's Tuesday when it's not today. If you are joining me, then thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to watch some of my crafting. I'm not 100% sure exactly how the cards are going to turn out today. I've chosen to use this Spotlight on Nature stamp set because I think it's really pretty and really simple to use, in the sense that you can put it with lots of different things. There are some circular dies as part of a bundle with this. Let me just find the right page, bear with me. I don't have those dies simply because I've got here they are. So these are the dies that you can get in the bundle, and they are really pretty. It's 3 different sorts, and they've got like this little flowery sort of pattern on. This one's got like lines, and then that one's got dashes and dots going around that way. So they are really, really pretty, and they are available in the annual catalogue. Obviously the 2 together you get a 10% discount on the bundle, and you can buy them separately, obviously, which I've done. The reason I didn't buy the dies is because I've got the Deckle Circle dies, which is an online exclusive. You get absolutely loads of these, and I'm trying to use these rather than buy more. As I say, they work just as well. They're still circular. Just depends on your fancy, how you like them. I have cut some out, and you can see they're sort of, you can layer them, but they're not an exact match because the edges are sort of bobbly. I'm also using again an online exclusive, the deckled rectangle dies as well. So I've cut a load of those out. I have done a bit of embossing as well with this. Done it in the white and the basic beige. Not sure if I'm going to use those or not. And I've got some various different bits of patterned paper. So, and I've also got my markers. Now this is the Brights collection, and most of this are in the Brights, so that's good. And I've also got a pack of ink pads at the side of me and a load of other stuff. So I've also got a bit of a sore throat, so I'm a bit trying to suck a throat sweet without making too much noise. So it is a red rubber stamp set. There's the biggest one, and so with this one you don't need a stamping mat because of the cushion. So if you can see, it gives quite nicely to give a good stamp. Okay, so I think the first one I'm going to use is a Flirty Flamingo card base, standard card base. So that means I'm going to stick with using these two bits of cut out in Flirty Flamingo, so I'm going to use those. And I've got a piece of patterned paper, again in Flirty Flamingo. I've not decided which bit I'm going to use yet, which pattern. But we'll pop that there, and then I think I'm going to use this bigger one. Oh, actually, I've got a spare white deckled. I'm going to use this one to start with, and I'm going to stamp using the StazOn. It's a solvent. It smells like marzipan, which I'm not a fan of marzipan and almonds, so I don't use it that often. But because I want to use our alcohol pens, you need to use StazOn really with it. Okay, so I should just get my bear with me. I moved everything around and it's not even the right colour. Okay, got my ink pad. I'm actually going to use this one with the ink pad and some blender pens. So I'm just giving it, it's a new ink pad, so I'm just giving it a bit of a squeeze to get the ink onto onto this bit of the ink pad. With these pens, you can use them on multiple colours, but you shouldn't put them onto the ink pad because it will lift the ink. It's got an alcohol-y type base in it, so I'm just gonna use it like a normal pen, and you can just colour it in, and then as you get sort of more of the ink onto the paper and less of it onto the blender pen, it will go a lighter shade. So I don't want it too dark all over. I want it sort of a bit of blending. So you can use lots of different ways of colouring this. We've got watercolour pencils, we've got the Write markers. Obviously I will be using different methods with these cards, just to show the different techniques that you get and different effects you get. It's a bit of a challenge trying to suck a throat sweet, talk and do colouring all in one go. But anyway, even though this one's darker, I don't want them all that dark. I'm quite happy leaving these a bit paler. So just put a bit of... Okay, and then just to get rid of the last bit of ink in there, just put it over. And then I can use it on a different colour. So for the leaves, I'm just going to use a bit of, this is shaded spruce, so I will if I can get it onto, I'm not very good at this, my wrists don't allow me to. I think it's sort of more up there, you have to press it. Bear with me one moment, I'll see if I can find a re-inker. Probably haven't got that one. Okay, instead of using this shaded spruce, I'm going to use Old Olive because I have a re-inker bottle, and rather than find the ink pad for this one, I'm just going to pop just a drop onto the clear block here. And then this is a water painter, so I can get it as light or as dark as I wish. And then it is just a bit of painting really in this one. We do have fluid, water fluid papers, which I'm not currently using, though I probably should be, because sometimes it runs outside if you put too much on. Anyway, it's not I don't want it all coloured, I just want sort of like a hint. And it doesn't matter, say if you go out the lines, it's not designed to be a perfect perfect colouring at all. I'm going to just put, this is a thanks. I think it's always handy to have some cards with thanks on. And I'm just going to pop that down there. Again, it's not straight, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's a bit of colouring, and I'm going to just pop that there while I cut this down. Now, I want it, so we can either have the stripy side And we can have a leafy side. It might be easier once I've cut it down to decide which. So that's just a normal mat, 3 3/4 inch by 5.5. And if I place that on there, and then that, so that looks okay, I think. Turn it over and look at the stripes. I quite like the stripes as well. Any preference from the people that are watching? I can see there are some people watching, so if you've got any preference to whether it's stripes or leaves and flowers, to pop it in the comments box. Otherwise I'm just going to stick it down. Well, I've decided that it's going to be the stripy side. Okay, so it's quite a simple card. Obviously you put a white insert in there rather than writing onto that, but it's quite a simple card, but it's got pretty flower on the front. Okay, so for the next one, just looking at the different colour bases that I've got. I think this is a Misty Moonlight, and I'm sort of working on the idea of layering it a bit and then having a stamp on this one. So again, just got to clean the big stamp off. Because it stays on ink, I just need to use some special remover on the ink, on the stamp. So just bear with me. Viv, I've just seen your stripes comment. That's good, because that's what I put on there. I think you just need sometimes need it a bit plainer, maybe on the background. Okay, so I'll just finish getting that off of there. And for this one, I'm going to actually use the Misty Moonlight ink pad. So it's going to be really a monochrome stamp card, so it's not, I'm not going to use any other colours other than the blue and the white. Okay, so it looks really pretty actually in the blue. And then I'm going to find another sentiment. This is the Simply Said stamp set, and this is a little hello. So I'm going to get my stamping mat for this one because it's a photopolymer stamp, so there's no cushion. Okay. So that will go on there. And I don't think it really, I'll probably put a bit of bling on, but it doesn't need an awful lot else. Now, this embossing folder is massive. It's like 8.5 inches. I don't know if it's got the measurements on here, it's got it in the catalogue. But, you know, it's really big compared to, let me find a standard. So this is a 3D one, but it's the standard size, so you can see just how much bigger some of our embossing folders are now. And obviously this one, well, they both have to go through a big cut and emboss machine, but you know, you can get such a good result from these bigger ones. I'm just using the stamping seal today to do most of my gluing, because I don't know why really, just sometimes it's just what I pick up. I do like the Tombow, but for speed on here I think the seal's pretty good. You just got to get used to flicking it a bit, flicking your wrist. As I say, this doesn't, they do sort of match up, but they're not 100%, so it's, you don't have to spend loads of time looking to try and find where it matches. It's just rough. Okay. And then that actually fits quite nicely just inside on there. Get some bling. And my take your pick tool. I've got to order some more of these. They're brilliant. My husband's been using mine, and it's just getting a bit too well used. So I'm just going to pop a few little bits of bling on there, and that's a second way of using this stamp set. So they're very, you know, it's back to a very simple simple stamping really. Okay, so next up I'm going to use a white piece of cardstock, and this is Poppy Parade, really nice bright vivid red. So it might be, the dots I think might just be too, I don't know, I think I'll go for a bit more. 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 I think I'll go for a too much, too red against the red, I think that is. Right, so let's just cut this one down. Again, for 3 3/4 by 5.5. So on this one, again, I'm going to use a poppy red ink. And I'm going to just clean off the blue. It looks as though my ink pad needs a bit more ink on it, but it'll be okay, I think, for this. Just trying to get it lined up well enough without moving the camera. Yeah, it definitely needs some more ink putting on there. Before I do anything else with that, I'm just going to find another I don't know, that says Miss You. I could use that, I suppose. Is I could always do a separate, I'll do a separate sentiment, I think. I'm going to use one of these. This one here, it's not used this yet. It says Dear Friend, so, and I'm going to just get a piece of white. I think that will fit, yeah, because I think that would be too close up there, so I'm just going to stamp it. Hopefully. There. Just get rid of the ink pad because I've just put my one finger in it, so I've got quite a bit of ink everywhere now. Okay. So with this, I'm just gonna chop it down a little bit. Still quite bulky, so what I might do is just, rather than having it straight, just sort of almost like, I don't know, a bit of bubbly. Okay, so that'll be able to go somewhere. Now you could obviously colour this as well if you wanted it more, you know, if you wanted more colour on there, but I quite like in the monochromatic cards at the moment for this one. I'm just gonna only problem with using the snail, I find, or the seal, is that once you've stuck it, you've stuck it. You know, the Tombow does give you a bit of play for just lining things up and being able to squidge them around a little bit. If I put that over to one side, let's find some dimensionals for this. So I'm not using anything really other than ink, cardstock and patterned paper, so it is really quite basic. I know I've cut some of these out, but you could cut them out from, you know, you could just have plain rectangles, use a cup or something, or you could even use a compass. Remember a compass from school? Draw some circles, cut them out. You know, it would be, I expect everyone, well, you know, I know I've got compasses in the house because of the kids, but you can pick them up for like, I don't know, 99p or something ridiculous in the shop nowadays. So they're always, there's always other ways of being able to do crafting without actually having all of the equipment. And I think that's really important, especially in this day and age at the moment with the, you know, cost of living crisis and everything just being expensive. You still want crafting to be accessible to everyone. Okay, so that's another one with the flower. I'm going to do one now with this is lovely. This is Berry Burst. So this is a gorgeous colour, and I want to use the leaf first of all. Just find the right block, and my ink pad. So this is a Berry Burst ink pad, and I'm going to stamp straight onto the card base. So this is tone on tone. Doesn't matter how you stamp it, just do it in slightly different ways. If you stamp off slightly, then it looks as though it's still flowing rather than here, and you get a bit more sort of a natural overlap. Okay, so that's tone on tone stamping, and then I just want to make sure my hands are relatively clean. You can't really see as much on that. I might cut this down a little bit more. So instead of having a standard matte layer of 5.5 by 3 3/4. I'm just going to cut it down to 5 1/4 by 3.5 inches. So it gives you a little bit more of the border, and it takes, sometimes if you cut the paper, your layer too, smaller, and you didn't have something on the background, either an embossing folder or some stamping like this, it can, to me, it just looks a bit strange. That's it. That might just be me. So okay, so that's going on there like that. I don't need that one. Let's ink this up again. I might even cut it down a bit more in a minute once I've stamped what I want to on here. I'm going to use the butterfly as well. I can just get it out of the it's a really pretty butterfly actually. Let's just, let me just cut this down a bit. So let's give it a bit more of a, so it's 3.5, so if I take that upside down 1/4 and that side, so that's now 3 inches that way, and it's 5 1/4 at the moment this way, so I'm going to take it down by half an inch off of that bottom bit at the moment. So now that's, and then maybe just 1/4 at the top. And you see, and when that goes on there, then you get even more of the background. Okay, so I want to stamp the sentiment again. So I'm just going to use this. I'm going to use this hello. And then I can put the ink away. And you don't have to put it straight. You can do it at an angle. It actually looks quite nice at an angle, I think. So I'm going to do mine. There's only some cards that I can manage to tilt and do at an angle. Some of it, I'm a bit of a, being a Virgo, I'm sort of really quite, I like things quite precise, and because that's not exactly level, it's sort of going to bug me now, but I've stuck it down. It's too late. Okay, so let's put, again, we're going to put some bling on. Put a bit of bling on the butterfly. I haven't got any bling on this one. Okay. So that's That's some very different ways of using this stamp set. Another way of, I'm just going to have to clean up a block, not clean up the stamp, and I'll show you a different way of using the markers. I've shown you this before, but this is quite a big set to use it on. So this is a berry burst. You've got your thick brush tip, and then on the other side you've got a bullet point for journaling or writing. But with the brush tip you can literally brush ink on okay, so you can do your flowers in whichever flowery colour you want, and then you can get a green or whatever colour you fancy for your leaves. I'm doing a green, and just again brush with the side, just brush it on. Like so. Now see, our ink is quite quick drying, so just for once you've coloured it, just to be able to make sure that the ink's going to come off, you just need to sort of huff onto it. Okay, so okay, and then just going to do this on here, and you get your pretty stamp in the two colours. So it's a really easy way of doing it, rather than like masking up all the leaves and stuff. You can do it with your Stampin' Write markers, and you get a really pretty stamp then. I'll find me seal and just pop that down on there. Now I have got another dark colour, but I think it would just be too dark. Just too many dark layers on there then. So I'm gonna use a complete white layer, and then I can stamp on this bit. So one of the stamp sets I've not used for a while is Sweetly Scripted, which is one off of the online exclusives. It's really nice, got lots. So save the date, speedy recovery, a million thanks, happy birthday, congratulations, and happy anniversary. So it's really useful, and I have used it a lot. You know, you can stamp them this way, they do fit, or you can stamp them diagonally or along that way, whatever, whichever way really that fits with what you're doing. So I'm just trying to see, I've got to find another long block, and I just decided to open a new one because I can't find the other one. And because I'm going to be stamping it this way, I'm not so fussed about the edges hanging over. Okay, I'm going to use Berry Burst so it keeps it all in the colour theme, and then try and get it straight while I'm stamping. It's much easier if you can get your head over the top, but let's see. If I do that, you won't be able to see anything. Okay, so that one's going to go on straight. Like so. And then I'm going to put that one on again at an angle because I do quite like that. Okay, and I've got lots and lots of different different embellishments, so I'm going to use some of these, I think. Because even though they're not as dark, they are actually Berry Burst, I believe, and they might not be though, saying that. Doesn't say on there. Let me just quickly look. I just swore it was Berry Burst, but let me just double check. Number 5. Oh no. Oh, it doesn't say. Doesn't say. It's definitely the wrong green. I might just put some of these white ones on. Got 2 different sizes of white. Okay, so it's just a little anniversary card now. I think that sort of covers quite a few different ways of using this stamp set, and obviously you can use other stamp sets in the same way. There's the monochromatic in circles and squares and rectangles, stamping on tone onto your base card, embossing the background and using designer series paper, pattern paper as your background, the different layers from the deckled dies, and then this was some sort of watercolour with, well, the leaves were using the watercolour, and also the blender pens with the ink. And then again, this one was using the Stampin' Right markers to colour the actual stamp in the colours that you want it. So there's a few different techniques involved there, and 5 cards made fairly quickly, I should say. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you again soon. I won't be live next week because we are away. If I get a chance, there may be a video that pops up. If not, I will see you in a couple of weeks' time. Okay, Thanks for watching. Bye.